Good evening. We'll call to order the City of Oak Park Heights Parks and Trails Commission, Monday, April 15th. Call that meeting to order. Before we approve the agenda, I want to welcome a new commissioner to our group. Taylor Pass, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
And feel free to offer any insights you have. Can I get a motion to approve this evening's agenda?
I move to approve the agenda.
In a second. Thank you. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Approval of the Parks and Trails Commission meeting minutes from March 18th. If you need some time, look those over. And when we're ready, we'll take a motion to approve that.
I move to approve last month's minutes.
Okay, and a second.
I second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And our department and commission liaison reports, we'll start with the arborist report. Lisa, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I just have a few updates for you tonight. Once again, Arbor Day is Friday, April 26th this year. I have put together an activity book that I'll get over to Jen to post on the website again this year. In your packet tonight, I put together an update on the 2022 Minnesota DNR preparing for Emerald Ash Borer Grant Award that we had been awarded. Just kind of summarizing it with where we are at there so it's in front of you versus me talking about it. A little easier to understand too. Right now, Save a Tree is out there working on the stump grindings. And then Hoffman and McNamara were awarded the spring planting project at the council meeting. That was the meeting right after the last Parks Commission meeting. They will be planting the final 55 trees for that grant. Most of the trees are on the boulevards, and then some are at Autumn Hills Park, and some will be at Brecky Park, on the disc golf course. And then the last update I have is we received the information that we received our 2023 Tree City USA Award, and we also received the Growth Award. So Oak Park Heights is currently a 42-year Tree City USA and a 7-year Growth Award winner. And then on Friday I got those signs updated with the stickers with the number of years on them. That's it I have for right now.
All right. Thank you again for the grant, writing that grant. That's very helpful for the city, obviously. Any questions on that?
For the trees that are planted, are they supposed to come back with like the watering bag? Or
I've got the bags on.
Okay.
I've got the bags. I'll put them out when I take all the wraps off.
Sounds good.
So I just figured just do it all at once.
Yeah,
Let
well,
them
that's-
freeze over the winter or something.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Public Works, Andy?
Yes, sir. We've got a couple of projects going on. Most notably, I think, is that fence that we have been working on for a couple of meetings now. The Public Works staff has started that project by removing brush. I was informed today that brush removal is done. And so we will be calling the contractor to schedule the work. So residents, if anyone's watching this video tonight, you will get a letter if you abut that property notifying you that the fence will be removed, taken down, and a new one is being put back up. So if you have dogs or anything caged or kept in your yard, we will notify residents when we plan to do that work. Another project, and you folks were quite interested in this, is our 58th Street Trail Reclamation Project. We are putting together an RFP. We've got a good draft, nearly completed. We'll post that out for review. Jacob will see it. We'll swing it by our city engineer. And then we'll send it to contractors. Now, because of the estimated project cost, we do have to get bids rather than just quotes. So the process takes a little bit longer, but we hope to have that out within the next week or two. That's really all I have for updates.
All righty, any questions? And that fence at Schwager, we anticipate completion of that when? The fall or
No.
quicker than that?
Much quicker than that.
Okay.
I imagine the contractor seems like they're chomping at the bit to get this done, so it could be
Okay.
before the next meeting. It'll be.
Oh, wow.
completed.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I'm not promising that, I'm just saying it could be, it likely will be.
All right.
But we'll keep you posted.
Okay. No commission report this evening, no visitor comments, no public hearing. On to old business, the Oak Park Crossing Park Swings.
Yes, sir. Another project that we've been working on. This started in November of last year, and so we did get 2 good quotes from our favorite playground equipment providers, St. Croix Recreation and Flagship Recreation. The quote that you see in here is essentially St. Croix Rec provided this, their information packet in November, but they did update the pricing to reflect 2024 pricing, so there was a little bit of an increase. And Flagship Recreation provided their quote, which is all included in your packet. I am going to recommend that we use St. Croix Rec because they are the lower of the 2 quotes. We don't necessarily have to, but it seems to make sense given the fact that funding is, limited, I suppose. Once that money is gone, it's gone. We're working with about $90,000 remaining in the Moulter Fund, and that was the money that XL Energy donated to the city to turn the former ash pit into a park. And so we'll draw from that and add those swings. So I suppose what I would be asking from you folks is a recommendation to move forward with the St. Croix Recreation providing the swings, and then we'll bring this to the city council at likely their next meeting, I think is next Tuesday.
And that bid, if I'm reading this correctly, that bid is for the swing set that's described in here, the border around and the mulching within?
That is correct.
Is that-
So it would include not only the swings, it's a 4-seat swing, so 3-post, 4-seat swing, plus the enclosure. We did decide to not do concrete because that doubled the cost for both contractors. So we're just gonna do the black borders that are existing and create a new enclosure. And those safety zones are required. We don't have a choice. We have to add those. So,
And it's to the east of the existing playground.
correct. Yep. It will be connected. It'll be tied in. So it'll all be one big structure, if you will. As a side note, St. Croix Recreation is also going to top off the ADA mulch. So rather than just fill in the new area, they're also going to spread that out throughout the entire playground area too. So it's a,
Good.
it's a neat little bonus, I suppose.
Any questions on the Oak Park Crossing swing quotes? If not, I'll accept a motion to accept the bid from St. Croix Rec.
I move to recommend St. Croix Rec for the swings.
And a second.
I second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All righty, St. Croix Rec it is.
Fantastic.
We also need to schedule, or talk about at least, our parks walkthrough for 2024. You want to speak to that, Jennifer, or Andy,
Sure.
or who?
I could speak to it,
Yeah.
sure. Mr. Chair, members of the commission, this is something that the Parks and Trails Commission does annually. In the past, you've done it as a group, scheduled it prior to a meeting, or you've done it on your own. That kind of started maybe around the COVID time, and we continued that. So I'm asking for direction from the commission whether you want to schedule this as a group project, to walk through the parks together, or if you want to do it on your own time. It's entirely up to the commission of how you want to handle that. Either way, what you do is you go out and take a look at the parks and make notes of not necessarily maintenance items unless you see something glaring that you think that the staff doesn't know about, but more so opportunities, things that you think the city would benefit from adding to parks. You can think big picture if you want, even knowing it may not fit in the budget. It's nice to know what you're thinking and what you think. Maybe there's something that, we're in the parks all the time, but we see it from a different view than you who are in the parks with your families and as residents of the city. So we want to see what you see, that we could, maybe some opportunities that we could have in the parks. So that's what we're asking for you to set up, either as a group or individually. We like to do that in the springtime, when the trees are a little thinner and we can see things easier. And what's the deadline? We do start talking about budget, the city council does, in July and August timeframe. So we like to have this done prior to that so that we can bring it to our city council and see if it's something we can get in our capital improvement plan, or if it's something we can get in our budget for 2025.
Any thoughts about group or individual,
Well,
or?
how did you think the information was last year, Andy? Was it adequate, or do we need to be a big group? Because I prefer to do it on my own.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely adequate, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I think the most important part is the discussion after the walkthrough. And maybe we need to schedule a work session or two to sit in the conference room and hash it out in the end, to find out what's gonna make it onto that CIP list, because that's really what this is driving, is what items do you folks want to see on that CIP? So yeah, I think individually works just fine, and then as a group, we talk about it before or after a meeting.
Yeah,
was
it's something
gonna
we didn't do last year, so I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think from a staff perspective, I think the ideas are almost better when you're out by yourself taking a look at things, rather than having this collective where someone says something and everyone just agrees. There's that group thing that happens. And so if you're out by yourself and you're seeing something, and I mean it, go big, go small, whatever, it's just something that we haven't thought of, or maybe we have, but we need to think about it again. We like the ideas that you come up with when you're by yourselves out there. And then again, as Mr. Kegley said, we do meet as a group after the fact and talk about these things. We can rule things out, we can prioritize them, and we can tell you if there's something that we don't think will go through council, or maybe it will. It's a good time to talk about it after the fact.
I think the sheet that you put together now a number of years ago, I suspect, that speaks to our park should contribute to collective community identity, provide a variety of active and passive recreational opportunities, appeal to all ages, contribute to the health and wellness of our community, create valuable green space. I think if we keep those in mind as we're out, looking at things, I mean, that'll probably force us a little bit to think bigger than, there's a crack in the sidewalk here, or
Right,
something
right.
like that.
And for your convenience, folks, although we didn't provide all the detail, this CIP sheet, that is a listing of all of the items that are on the park CIP in your packet. So if you're thinking, hey, this could really use this or that, and it's already on the list, well, it's already there. But that doesn't mean we can't discuss it and say, hey, let's bump the priority up, but just so you're aware.
So you don't need to know, there's graffiti, or something's like the swing's broken, or things like that. You just need to
You can
know.
certainly tell us that, but no, we're in the parks every day. The crew generally knows about that stuff.
Sure.
And graffiti happens almost daily, so I mean, it's a little game we play, I suppose.
All right, so I guess what we're saying is maybe before the next meeting, try to get out individually and make your list, keeping in mind big ticket items. And as I mentioned, I think that the philosophy that was written down a couple of years ago still holds true now with those 5 bullet points. So I don't know, do we need a motion to do that? We're just going to do it maybe before the next meeting. What do you think?
I don't think we necessarily need an action item on that. Just think it's good that you have a plan.
Did we want to schedule a meeting to talk about it before or after?
We could probably go ahead and schedule a work session for May.
Okay.
What?
You're not ready for that? You want to compile the
There's
ideas?
other items on the agenda. There's other items on the,
Recce.
Okay,
we want to do that ribbon cutting.
Yeah.
And then,
okay, let's circle back.
Sounds
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Okay, new business, I guess we kind of stumble right into that. Schedule Brecky Ball Park ribbon cutting and Arbor Month tree planting. Anybody want to speak to it, or?
Well, I can speak to it quickly. You folks had mentioned that you wanted to do a ribbon cutting that we did, for your information and for maybe the publics that aren't aware of this, but we did receive a nice grant from the Minnesota Twins organization to replace the backstops at our Brecky Park ball fields, both the upper and the lower. It was very nice of them to do that. I can't remember, I think it was about 15 grand, is that right, Lisa?
Yeah, something like that.
In any case, it made the project virtually free for us, so it was quite a deal. And you folks want to do a ribbon cutting for the newsletter or for whatever purpose, which is a good idea, but we figured we'd also sneak in, as part of our Tree City USA, we plant a tree every year, and we used to have the park commissioners gather around a tree, and we take a photo and put that in the newsletter as well, and that satisfies that requirement. So we figured we'd kill 2 birds with 1 stone and do that next month.
Before the meeting?
Before the meeting would be great, yeah, if you folks are open to that. And we would do it, of course, at Brecky Park, given that, the backstops are there.
That works for me if we do it before.
Is that good?
Yes.
Any particular time work for you folks? 5 o'clock? Is that too early, or?
That's fine with me.
So we do 5 and then come up here and start our meeting at 5:30?
So that's a great question, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. Sometimes we do hold our parks meetings at a park.
Yep.
And I will certainly watch the weather the week before. And so if you're not opposed, we could have the meeting right there at Brecky Park in the shelter if the weather's great. Then we won't have to drive back here. But if the weather is poor, then we'll meet here, and I'll post as such that we will start the meeting once everyone gets back to City Hall after that.
Sounds good.
Okay, does someone want to make a motion that we schedule that?
Make a motion, we have our next meeting at Brecky Park with the ribbon cutting and the tree planting at 5.
Okay,
I second that.
thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All righty, 5 o'clock we are on, what's that date, I suppose, May 20th?
Yep.
All righty. Parks no smoking policy.
Lisa will take
Yeah,
that one.
All
I'll
right.
take care of this one here. So in front of you here in your packet is a proposed no smoking in the parks policy. No smoking, including cigarettes, e-cigarettes, marijuana, anything like that, cigars. Ultimately, right now our park shelters have kind of become smoking shelters, and it's becoming an increased amount of litter around the pavilions because cigarette butts are thrown on the ground, the packets are thrown on the ground, the plastic wrappers are thrown on the ground, and it's becoming, I don't know, more increasingly popular too, as other places are not allowing smoking, so it just brings people to the parks. So,
Truth be told, it breaks our heart when there's little kids eating their Happy Meals at a picnic table and there's 4 or 5 adults smoking cigarettes. It shouldn't be happening, so. We're not the moral police, but we figure at least if we can tack some no smoking signs up at our shelters, it's a start.
yeah. So ultimately, in front of you is a voluntary proposed policy that we have put together. And we were thinking of some signs too, if it's something you were interested in.
So what does it do exactly to have the policy? So somebody's smoking.
Is there a fine?
Yeah, a fine.
No, it's voluntary, but a lot of times, I don't know, just different things. They see the sign and they think, oh, can't smoke here. And when it's been kind of taken away everywhere else, they're respecting the places that can do it. So,
So this would be, if I'm reading that last section right, it would be not only in the shelters, but we're trying to encourage along the trails and,
Yeah.
throughout the entire park.
yep. Yeah, and I think even, I don't know, maybe you have 10 people smoking and 5 of them stop, it's gonna improve the litter and improve the, like you say, kids being able to go in and have a Happy Meal without somebody smoking next to them. Are you looking for one of these signage examples to be chosen or encouraged or?
Not
No?
necessarily. It would be a
Just-
pretty basic no
Yeah.
smoking sign.
Yeah,
Oh, this is what Hudson has? One of them on there?
Yeah, at
Is
the
that
bottom
Hudson?
right, yeah.
A variety of around us.
There's a variety of signs out there. There's some funny ones that really get attention. There's basic ones.
well, it can't hurt.
I'm
I
all
guess.
for it.
Huh? Yeah,
I'm all for it, so. I move to add signs for tobacco-free parks.
and I'll second that. Anybody want to make any other comments? All in favor of putting up signs to encourage our citizens not to smoke in the city parks, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Oppose?
Aye, or nay.
And so we have them. You guys are going to take care of that then?
Yeah.
Okay. Request to harvest purple loosestrife from city parks. Lisa, is that yours?
Yeah. So I had an email request from Maria Young, who works for the Wild Rivers Conservancy, and she's requesting to harvest some purple loosestrife at Valley View Park. Included in your packets is kind of a description of what she is looking to do with her group, and kind of the setup that they do. Purple loosestrife is an invasive species, if you're not familiar. And it's one that's difficult to control. It's located, you'll see it like ditches, waterways. It actually looks kind of nice when it is flowered and bloomed. So she's just asking if it's something she can do here. She's got her permits already from the DNR for her group to harvest or dig the purple loosestrife. I've also included some information from the DNR, and then I just put together a draft permit, just with a few things that we would request of her group when they're in to do it. I'm for it if there's something that helps benefit it from spreading, or there's more ways to control it than what's going on now. I say why not. They're planning to do a digging event on April 25th, so it's coming up here soon. So it's just the information for your reference.
So, Lisa, I'm confused. So what is this about digging this and then
So
providing to the raise their beetles on?
So she digs up part of the plant and then takes it back, and they put together this setup here, and the beetle is like, what's the word I'm looking for?
It kills the plants?
Yes, it's a method of biological control versus using pesticides.
So does she release the beetles then after that, or is it?
I think she just continues using them at her place.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, do we need
Yeah.
any more beetles in
So-
Oak Park Heights with all the action?
No, no, she's not bringing the beetles here. If you look on page, is there anything around here? So, pictures aren't the clearest. On this page right here in the packet, it shows an example of a couple places where they've done the biological control to where it hasn't been done, and it's quite a bit of a difference.
So ultimately, this proposal, I think, is just a win-win for the city. This lady
Yeah.
needs this purple loosestrife to stripe, whatever it's called, to propagate her beetles, and we don't want it. So
Right.
she's offering to take it off
Yeah.
our hands, and was sure.
Are we
take some.
allowing her to come back whenever? I mean, like, is she just doing it one time and then saying see ya?
I did the draft permit through the year here.
Oh, perfect, okay.
So she would do this throughout the summer, and then, of course, we did ask that she provide a report to you folks at the end of
Great.
her term, or summer, or whatever season.
Is this the purple plant that's along the bridge? That's it? Oh, that's
Yes,
what
ma'am.
it is.
Is there a negative?
Not really.
Okay.
It's pretty much the same idea too as the, as far as like our approval goes, as the lady who was harvesting the milkweed
For
for
butterflies.
butterflies.
Yeah.
a few years
Mutually
ago.
beneficial, so.
I make a motion. Do we have to make a motion to approve?
Sure, we'd accept it.
Okay, I make a
We'll take
motion to
the-
approve the harvest of the purple loose strife from the city parks.
I will second that.
Any other questions? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oppose? All righty. Thank you to her, I guess. Couple information pieces. Our next meeting will be Monday, May 20th at 5 o'clock at Brecky Park. And the next upcoming council meeting is Tuesday, April 23rd at 6 o'clock. Anything else for the good of the group? Motion to adjourn?
You want to make a motion to
Want to
adjourn?
make a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
All
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are out of here.
That's the favorite